Hi.
Are you ready to have an immensely stressful, deadline-filled time?
No, I'm ready to have a very chill, fun, easy chatting about web time.
Yeah, and the thing is, so this is the very last live stream we're doing for this web development bootcamp.
Hmm.
How freaked out should people be if they don't have everything finished?
I would say not at all.
Right? I'd be a little freaked out if somebody had everything finished because I I'm not picking on anybody. I saw that like two of the learners were like, "Oh, I'm all done." And in my mean old lady heart, I just wanted to, like, scoop them up and make sure that they had a little vacation, that they were taking some breaks as well. That's very fast.
We've covered so much. It is absolutely expected that you're gonna need a little bit of breathing time. And like, gosh, if you're going straight from this boot camp into the next one, remember that Friday is a Q&A. So
No
there's no
homework, no prep. What are we doing tomorrow?
tomorrow I'm gonna take it super easy. I might take a nap or
Oh,
several.
so there's no class tomorrow.
Correct.
Today is the last live session we're doing of the web development bootcamp, but the video's not going anywhere. The Discord's not
Hmm.
going anywhere. And we don't expect y'all to be finished. You can get feedback from other learners. You can come back and watch these videos whenever you need. Everything's fine. I would not be finished. I'm not finished doing all of these on my own.
Oh, same, same. But yeah, remember everything's recorded. You can go to youtube.com/@badwebsiteclub. You can go to badwebsite.club if you want to keep up with all of the schedules and links and stuff. If you go to bit.ly/bwc-discord-invite, I've confirmed that this link works. Um,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, we're gonna say it a bunch more times. It's really repetitive. It's okay if you're not done yet. I would not be done yet. We went so fast. Everything's and the thing is we're gonna go a little we'll talk about the JavaScript bootcamp on Friday. We won't preview too much. Yeah, let's give folks some space. Let's talk about the very last project for this that we're going to be working on together. And I've got about 97 windows open because I'm a very irresponsible little goblin. A very laid back little. Here we are. So the final project is going to involve building a personal portfolio page. And I think this is important that has this kind of functionality. Okay, so hang on.
Hmm.
Can we talk through what we're seeing? What do you see? I see a header up here at the
Yeah.
top, the red bar, and then I see a splash image. I see a sort of like, and then as I scroll down, I see links to all of the project. JavaScript calculator. We haven't done that yet. It's okay. Everything's okay. So some of the projects. Oh, and this is really good. So this is how to contact you. Why
Hmm.
might this be important to have on? Ooh, learners, please. Ooh, wait. I'm going to jump way, way back. Why do we want you to make a portfolio website? So, learners, please yell at us or yell at me, really. I think, Ramon, you already know this. Why might we want to make a portfolio webpage in the first place? And part of the answer is going to include why are we so interested in having a contact section? Ah,
Yeah.
and then a footer.
I'd love to hear. Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So our
So,
project today is going to be to make one of these. Is that right?
yeah. And I think this is really important. So we need the function, and I think this language is so interesting. Functionally similar. Fu-
It
this
means it
doesn't
doesn't
mean,
have to perfectly match.
and the thing is, I'd politely argue that we don't want it to perfectly match. Like if your website just looks like a copy of everybody else's website, even though web design's a little samey these days. Oh, learner, this is so nice. We want you to make a personal portfolio website so that people can appreciate your efforts. That's such a soft way, I might say, so you get to show off. And that maybe you'll find project collaborators. Oh, that's so touching
Ooh.
and sweet. Thank you.
I love that. Ooh, I
Ooh,
want to highlight what Eric
yeah,
said
yeah,
here.
yeah. Eric
So that
lives in a
employers
world that I live in where you need to get paid to eat.
so that employers can see what you're able to do with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
This is
Super
great.
accurate.
So a lot of the learners talk to us about how they wanna move into a developer role or a tech role. Having especially if you're gonna be a front end developer, having a portfolio website that you made yourself gets to be really important. So, do you have a portfolio website?
I do.
Can we see it?
Uh, okay. It's a little bit messy, but it is mine. Do you have it
Okay.
there?
No,
Or
I
should
was
I
putting
open it?
mine up. I was gonna show mine off.
Okay, let's take turns then.
Mine is super basic. Writing, broken? It's not
Oh,
broken.
it's
Oh, no, last updated 2017. Oh, where does it say I work?
well,
Okay, so this has been updated so rarely that it's technically correct again. Because this is back when I worked at Mozilla at a different job. And then old conference talks. Oof, 2019 was so long ago. So that's because you
that's
don't
lovely.
just have to put your projects.
No, no, you can put a whole bunch of stuff. Here, I'll go next.
Yeah.
So share screen, window. So mine's a little messy.
Oh, yours needs to be updated too. Oh, look how nice this is. Oh,
So
Farhad
we've
makes a
got
really great point. I'm going to interrupt you and be rude. That this portfolio, it expresses your work. This is so poetic and helps you get a job. Yeah. Hey, here's the stuff I'm great at. And the stuff you're great at is holding soft dogs and picking
oh,
really nice fonts.
oh, I had to ask like people who are much more savvy than me like 30 times. You want to see an Easter egg on my website?
Only if you tell us what an Easter egg is first.
So I put a little fun thing, like a little fun little feature that's hidden at first sight on my website, which is that when you hover over my picture with the dog,
Yes.
it'll shake and do a little grumbling. It'll go "Rrrr."
Did you do that with JavaScript?
I did it with CSS. That is all
No.
CSS. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that is all CSS.
That's
It's
too
also
cute. That's
accessible.
unacceptable. So learners, you are not allowed to do something that cute. It's too much.
And yeah, like each of these goes into like my, for example, my portfolio would be here, my CV would show you like stuff I've done.
Oh, wait, where it says kudos, do you have nice things people said about you?
I do.
Oh, do you know what? Do you know what? Obviously, for the learners, I'm not y'all's boss, I'm not y'all's mama, but as a stretch goal, I'd love for you to include some of the so if you've shown off your projects in Discord and given each other feedback, I'd love for you to quote that feedback on your site.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do.
Oh, do you know what? Can I give you a quote where it's just like unacceptably charming?
I'll happily accept it.
And I
Um,
like the languages you speak listed here because like your skills aren't just your language. Nikita recently saw a portfolio page that looks like a video game, that looks like a terminal game.
I love
I
that you can use these to express yourself.
That's the thing. So these are so and that's so I know we've talked about it before, but let's talk about the difference between good enough to pass and good enough that you love this project. So,
Absolutely.
especially if you're gonna be going right into the JavaScript boot camp, I have no objections, and, like, y'all don't need to live up to what I want anyway. I have no objections with you just doing enough of a portfolio website that it passes and then getting the tick for your certificate. That's fine,
Absolutely.
that's great. But if you do that and then send it to an employer, I'll be like, it's not you yet.
Yeah.
So over the next couple of months, over the next couple of years, um, if you redo your portfolio website, come back and drop it in the Discord so people can be excited about them. If it's useful, one of my projects for after we finish JavaScript is I want to redo my portfolio site. So I'll be working on that in my own time, not on a stream. So be really, really excited to show that off with y'all and get some feedback.
Absolutely. That sounds amazing.
So do you know what? I'm going to be terrible. Let's not write any code.
None at all?
No, no, I did this once before and just sort of talked through what the user stories are because I'm a bad person.
Oh, you are wonderful. Let's
No,
do it.
no, let me be a bad person. I love it. So let's talk about this. So we should have a welcome section of an ID
Yeah.
welcome section. Technically, oh, no, no, no. So do you know what? I think this welcome section could be a section. It could be a
You
div, but it says
yeah.
section in it. And we're always going to prefer something more semantic. And,
Mhm.
a poorly should have a welcome section with an ID of welcomes. This is going to show us the tests we have to pass. I think based on these tests, our welcome section could be a
Mm.
div and we wouldn't be in trouble, right?
Yeah. Like,
But
it looks like technically you could use a div,
but
but semantically
semantically, it says section and section exists as an
yeah.
element. I mean, I'd probably do it as a section, but I'm a stickler
Yeah.
for the rules.
Yeah, and I think it's a good practice for, recommending, it's a good practice for, getting those, HTML skills.
Yeah. And Lerna makes a really good point. And we should probably talk about this in we had some videos about how to get where webs using GitHub pages. So we had some past guests come and show us how to do that. Because
Yeah,
one
let me
question is
get those links.
how do I get my portfolio website out of this tutorial environment and on there? And you're going to grab that. So we've got some videos last time. I'm so sorry that doing both boot camps back to back for a savage and devastating. We're teaching for like 13 weeks in a row?
Like 4 months.
No.
January, February, March, and April.
Really? I'm so sorry, my loves. We did not have it in us to book guests all through those. But I'm gonna go ahead and bet $1 that we'll probably do this again next year. 4 months. Hmm.
Um,
And we'll try and
sorry,
go
I
ahead
interrupted.
and reintroduce guests because we've got a guest video from last time that showed us how to use GitHub Pages to get your portfolio and other sites online.
Yeah. Here, I'm getting oh, we've got a couple of great ones. We've got Mr. Hawksworth joining us to teach us about Netlify. We've got Rizal teaching us Git and GitHub. I'm just gonna drop all of these links in a minute.
Yeah,
And
there's
we've
no
also
hurry, no worry. So while you're doing that, so I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it, I'm gonna ask the learners to tell me. So looking at user story 1, my portfolio should have a welcome section with an ID of welcome section. Cool. What do I need before that that this hasn't told me to do? This is our very last project. It assumes I'm
Mm.
really moderately comfortable with HTML and CSS. It thinks I know how to get started building a website. What am I missing here? What do I need to do before I put my welcome section with an ID of welcome section? Oh,
Oh,
fab. So we've got the Netlify, and Netlify is just a static site host. Okay, so we've got somebody saying we need a div before that, but we need something even. Yeah, Andre.
there we go.
Oh god, y'all are just giving me everything. So we've got a bunch of
Oh,
people using
amazing.
the. I'm gonna like credit you all. Andre is saying we need the boilerplate, which is the stuff that's all in here. We need the boilerplate, which includes the head and the body. Oh, the boilerplate. And Farhad's saying, like, you know what? I might want a div before this section. And this makes a lot of sense. You can go ahead and add more semantic building blocks, or div's not super semantic, but you could add a whole bunch of things to this that isn't included explicitly in
Yeah.
here. So you have to have at least an ID of welcome section, but you can have more than that. So our boilerplate code, I'm not going to write a bit of it. Bwahahaha. Let's come
Amazing.
down. Okay. We should have a project section. Again, this could be a div, this could be a lot, but I think in my heart, it being a section makes the most semantic sense.
Yeah, I agree. And same, so this we've got two sections, right? We've got the welcome section and the project section.
I mean, me personally, I would say I'd probably have a header, but maybe instead of a header, I'd have a nav bar
Oh,
like 6
yeah.
has. But this project thing looks like it wants me to have an element with a class of project tile. And it
Mhm.
looks like, I'm just inferring that 4 and 5 together sound like projectile should be maybe an image, maybe something visual that links to at least one project.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have a nav
What
bar.
where would we link to those projects though?
Oh, so here, hmm. Oh, should we talk about other pages?
Ooh.
Oh,
One thing you could put, for example, is your certificate.
you could do an external link to your certificate. Love it.
Exactly.
Learner makes a really solid point. It says, "Hey, do you know what? When we're doing your boilerplate, it's so easy to forget your character set
Yeah.
meta tag. Almost always you want UTF-8. If you don't, something exciting is going on, and I definitely want to chat about it." But UTF-8, I don't want to say it'll work for everybody because that's not how encoding works with language, but it will often work. Oh, Nikita, that's such a good question. I'm going to race you to save that, and we'll get this in just a second. Nikita's
Mhm.
asked an extremely good question that's also kind of cursed.
Yeah.
So our nav bar should link externally to our certificate if we've got one already, but it should link to different sections of the page.
Oh,
It should
yeah,
have
we've done that a couple of times with these anchor links that go to,
that
like,
hash
section
and
1.
then
Yeah.
and then you can have an ID of profile link, which goes to your GitHub or free CodeCamp profile in a new tab. So that target
Mhm.
equals underscore blank is a spoiler. You need to use a media query. Ha ha ha. Oh, do you know what? The height of the welcome section should be equal to the height of the viewport. Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Oh, yeah. So it should cover, and it's kind of like that sort of, like, splash image that you were talking
yeah.
about before. Yeah.
So, okay, I'd say you don't. So, and the welcome section doesn't just have to have a little bit of text. You could have a bunch of images. You could do a bunch of stuff. Ooh, do you know what?
Learner.
And using the lang attribute, if somebody's using automatic translation, would help automatic translate. Or if somebody's searching in a specific language for content. Ooh, obviously, I'm not the boss of anybody, but if anybody wanted to do different localized versions of your website
Mhm.
in home and other languages would be very exciting.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Oh, and then the nav bar should always be on the top of your viewport. Is that position sticky? Fixed?
Fixed.
Sticky. Fixed. Fixed. Yeah. Yeah, I knew that.
I always
So
forget.
this says fulfill the user stories and pass all the tests to complete this project, but I could write code like right now in 10 minutes that would pass all these in 15 minutes. I could write code that passes all these tests in like 3 hours. Let's be real. Um, but I could just write enough code to pass all these and it would be a terrible portfolio website. But just enough to pass is just enough to pass. Like, you can always come back and refactor it later.
Oh, what does refactoring mean again?
You know what? The learners know this. They're going to tell you what refactoring means.
I'd love to hear it, please.
And while we wait for that little tiny delay that exists in all comms, can we talk about this question from Nikita? And we're so happy to answer any other questions that you have about portfolio websites, other web dev stuff. We're not going away forever. We're still going to be in the Discord and forum. But if you're like,
Yep.
hey, wait, I forgot how blank works, it's a really good time to get us to exchanges in real life. Exchanges? Explain this.
Yeah. Sounds good. Shall we bring up Nikita's question
Yeah.
then? So we've got here, what do potential stakeholders expect from a portfolio page? Flash design with bells and whistles or professional straight to the point clear presentation? There is a follow-up because I want a page that looks like a wine cellar, but that's what I want. In business, employers don't want even read long and vibrant CVs often. This is a good point.
So I've got two different answers to each of the sections of these.
Oh, sorry.
No, 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 I love it. So and this is very opinion led, so we might disagree, and I love to disagree with you because I'm much meaner than you are.
Impossible.
So here when we're talking about potential stakeholders, these are people who are going to be looking at your portfolio page and they might be interested in hiring you as a contractor or a job or collaborating with you on a project like Lerner pointed out. What do they expect to see? Something beautiful and exciting with a little dog that goes grr, or something very, very clean. And at least for me, the problem is that it's almost impossible to tell.
Hmm.
One thing I should say, so both you and I work in a niche of programming, of computer science called developer relations. And,
Yeah.
and our section of work in tech is like really, really narrow. We do a little bit of programming and a little bit of technical writing and a little bit of public speaking. You're probably not going to wind up working in developer relations. It's fine. And almost all developer relations people I meet have terrible personal websites because we're busy. Almost all senior developers I know have terrible personal websites because they're busy. This question here. So, hey, what am I going to do that pleases everyone? There's
Hmm.
no way to know if somebody wants a very professional thing or a very weird thing. But so I was going to say, oh, you should just do what's in your heart. You want a page that looks like a wine cellar? Do it, 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 do it. Employers or stakeholders who don't love it, that's fine. You're gonna find
Yeah.
somebody who's more aligned with your vibe. And as soon as I saw this, I bet like I don't mean to steal Nikita's idea, but in my heart, do you know what I saw when I saw wine cellar? Is like the different projects on barrels or on wine bottles on the labels.
Yes.
Like there's so much creative, so much interesting stuff you could do with a wine cellar. Especially so you could go ahead and start doing that with CSS. And then as we learn more about JavaScript, the ability to do more and more beautiful, strange things. Oh, Nikita, I'm not your boss and I'm not your mama, and I'm definitely not telling you what to do. Um, but I would love to see that. And you can start small. You could just pass the test at first. Eric makes a really good point to say, do you know what? The only thing we can really guarantee is that they'd love to see the work that you did previously. They want to see stuff you've done either professionally. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Look at me getting aggressive at the screen.
I love it.
What if? So let's talk about professional experience that you can put on your portfolio website.
Ooh, great question.
Oh, Eric, I'm going to pop you off here. Renier, said, thank you for the boot camp. You're such a sweetheart. I'm so sorry if I've just butchered your name. Your surname is gorgeous, though I'm jealous as the day is long. So let's talk about professional experience. We're not going to tell you to lie,
Yep.
but we are going to tell you to get credit for what you did. So, Ramon,
Absolutely.
hypothetically,
Yes.
if I build a website for my friend, I built it for free.
Yep.
But they're using
Hmm.
it either professionally or
Yep.
personally. Like I built somebody a website and they're using it. Do I put that down as professional experience?
Absolutely.
How do I put that down as professional experience?
I would make that a portfolio item.
Oh, I'd go one step further.
Oh, please.
I'd put that down as contract web development.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you built
Yeah.
it for someone, they're definitely going to give you feedback back and forth. Work that is not paid is still work. And you can just get your buddy to give you like a small unit of local money, or I'd say cook you dinner.
Yeah.
So yeah, unpaid work is still work. What if and we'll cover this after the JavaScript bootcamp. We'll take a look at how to do this together. It won't hurt us. I'm just previewing stuff for the far future. What if I go to an open source project? Oh, wait, first, what's an open source project?
Ooh. So that's a code base that's living on the web that we can take a look at and maybe make some contributions to, make some code changes, add some new code, delete some code, this sort of thing.
I'm going to take this away because we're sort of talking more generally now. Actually,
Can I?
can you?
Sorry. Would it be okay if I showed off another personal website that I love?
You must. I insist on it. But hang on. So while you're getting it up, so if I do some open source work, do I include
Yes.
that on my portfolio page?
Yes.
Do I include that on my resume or CV, or how do you say it in German?
Lebenslauf.
No, that's not a no. Really?
The run of your
Lebenslauf.
life. The run of your life. The
Huh.
how your life has run so far.
Oh,
My German's bad. I apologize.
that's significantly bleaker. That's very meaningful. And Learn makes a good point to say, look, if you're doing open source work, you include that on your resume, you include it on your stuff. If you do work, I do not care. I mean, of course, I want you to get paid for your work, but if you're doing free work, you get
Mhm.
credit for your free work. You go get that
Absolutely.
cute thing, and I'm going to go
I got it.
find.
I remember the website of a friend of ours who's presented on this boot camp before. Remember Zach Gassidis?
Yes.
Remember his website?
Is it cute? No. Oh, no.
That looks like an old computer?
That is not an old computer. That looks like a computer from just like a year or two ago. Um, and the reason I said, "Oh, no," is I'm so jealous of this. I'm gonna be sick. Oh,
He's got
no. I
here
think
his
we can all
programming
agree that we're very, very mad at Zach for how cute and good this is.
I love his
Ugh.
website.
Ugh. I'm furious about how cute and good this is.
He's got his speaking experience.
I
Love it.
so mad. I'm so mad. Like, lovingly mad.
Eric says Windows 3.1. I think this is 95. It looks like 95.
That's gotta be 3.1. Look at the on the bottom, yeah.
The taskbar?
Is
Oh, I
it?
could be wrong.
Do you know what? I like, in my heart, I think 3.1, but maybe I just harken back to
It's
this is
beautiful.
beautiful. So, one thing I was gonna do really fast is just
Oh,
preview.
please.
Yeah. Oh, and Learner makes a really good point to say, also, Learner's much nicer than I am, so not actually jealous. So be like, "Ah, great creativity." It would be really good if this was also ah, ha, 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 if this was also very accessible, if this was still screen reader friendly. So we're not gonna, like, do an accessibility audit on somebody else's page.
No, absolutely. I was just curious. I'm sorry.
I know, but I'm gonna do one later.
It's even
So
got music player. Okay, I'm done.
no, stop. Oh, and the little oh, I'm little clock in the corner.
That is accurate.
Okay, so stretch
That's the
goals.
local time.
I s So, short term, finish just enough. Oh, Andre says that we think it is put 95. You know what? We got 2 bites for 95. I trust y'all over me. Um,
Oh, the
so
gradient.
j basic goals, just do enough to pass. Get your certificate when you can, all chill. Your stretch
Yeah.
goals are to someday make a portfolio website that makes me so destroyed by envy that I cannot even deal with it, like this. So I thought we might take a quick look at an open source project just to see what one feels
Please
like.
go for it.
So we've got free code camp, and here I'm signed into a GitHub account, and we've given you the video on how to sign up for GitHub. But there's a couple different things we do. So this is literally for free code camp. So the website we learn on is also an open source project. And it says,
Oh,
hey, if
so
you
that
want to,
means that. Sorry.
please. No, no, no.
So if I understand correctly, that means that everything that's on Free Code Camp, all of the how the website works and all that is available for me to download onto my computer?
You could run a version of this website on your computer. And actually,
Oh,
whether or
wow.
not we could, and I'm just gonna look, hey, if you want to give feedback on coding projects built by campers, oh my heart.
Love it.
Um, so different ways to do things, but contribute to our open source code base on GitHub. And that's what we're looking at here. So there's two big things we can do when we're brand new to open source. One is issues. If you see something that's broken or a little weird, you can create a new issue and say, hey, oop, look at this and say, oh, I saw something in the coding challenge that was a little broken or it didn't make sense to me. Or, hey, when I was trying to use the
Mm.
interface. So I can make an issue and I could describe it and give it a title. That's quite cool. So here I can say, hey, something's broken. Please, can you fix it? Ah. And one thing that's a little bit harder is pull requests. And the concept for this is hard because I
Oh,
think
wow.
when you talk about a pull request, I think it sounds more like a push to me, but that's something else.
Right.
So a pull request is when you copy this project, make your own copy of the project. You're going to change just a little bit of it. You're going to fix something or change it, and then you're going to give it back to the project. So I'm going to make a copy of my own free code camp, Jess's free code camp. I'm going to change the code a little bit in positive ways, I hope. And then I'm going to send it back to free code camp and say, hey, I wrote some code or I deleted some code or I changed some code for you. Do you want it?
Mhm. So what you're doing is taking those code changes and offering them as a gift, so to speak, to the Free Code Camp folks. Oh, my video froze. Sorry, folks. I look like
Everything's
I'm
fine.
there we go. I'm
You look like you're about to fight the
back.
screen. And
I
folks,
really don't wanna fight.
we're not gonna run too long today, so if you have any questions at all, just fuss at us, and there's also no
Please.
deadline. You can fuss at us in the Discord. Nothing's wrong. So
Absolutely.
here, a good way to decide what you wanna work on is if you come to issues, they say, "These are the things we think need to be fixed."
Mhm.
And they've got a great label. They've got a label I really like, which is first timers only. We
Oh,
think this
first
would be
timers only.
a good I know, not just good first issue, first timers only. We think this would be a good thing to fix. And look at this. This one's just a little tiny baby typo. And it's
Second
still,
oh, for English for developers.
yeah. Oh, look at that. Should sound more natural.
Oh.
And so, and they say, hey, the first person who fixes this, we're not going to assign it to you. So you need to come in and fix it first.
Mhm.
Oh, do you know what? If anybody has already worked out how to use GitHub and wants to try this might be a really, really good fix. So for this, you would need to fork a copy of this. Do you want me to do? I'm not going to send it in because I'm not a first timer. But what I'm going to do is take the free code camp platform. I'm going to fork it. I'm going to make my own copy of it.
Mhm.
Uh, oh, I've already got a fork of it.
And what are you doing here by
So I'm
making a
making
fork?
a copy of free code camp, just free code camp. So I'm making I'm like photocopying this code onto oh,
Yeah.
I've already got okay, never mind. I won't actually do it now. Do you already have a free code camp fork?
I do.
Let me
Because
see if
I've
I
made a
can
couple.
delete mine really fast.
So,
I'll race you.
I'll do the same. Free code
Wow, I have a bunch of silly, silly projects.
settings. Delete. I need to
Right? How do we
delete.
delete it?
Need to put in my password. Okay. I think I did it.
Okay. So I'll let you share your screen and show us how you would fix this. But don't actually send it in because you're not a first time contributor and that would be terrible.
I am nope, I will absolutely not. So let's share my screen. Then I
And for
will
folks who haven't used GitHub before, don't worry. This is not part of this. We're just previewing the kind of things we're going to learn after the JavaScript bootcamp. And we'll do some of this together.
totally.
So this is just for folks who've already tried out GitHub and want to see. So the free code camp project, we're going to fork it.
So there's my owner. Copy the main branch, create fork. This can take a second.
Yeah.
I seem to remember there being an animation of a photocopier here.
Learner is actually suggesting exactly what I was going to say is like we can, for teeny tiny fixes like this, we can edit it in GitHub instead of downloading all the code because this is just a typo.
Yeah. You know what, Jess? I don't remember where the typo is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the original repository, look up that issue real quick here under.
It was under
Oh wow,
first issues only.
for
Oh,
tags
it's right there.
label.
It's 1, 2, 3 down.
Ah,
Typo English. Yeah. And we're not actually going to do this. So if you
task
go
24.
to, yeah, task 20.
So that would be curriculum. uh
I think we can search for task 24.
oh, that makes much more sense. 24. English for developers.
Oh, but there's a bunch of those. So
Ooh, maybe I'll search here at the top, huh?
yeah, so we want task
Maybe
24.
I could just look up the word the typo.
You should look up the type. Oh, nice. Huh.
Oh. Oh, I can do that because it's my fork. It's not been indexed yet, so I'll go over here
I'll
and look it up
race
here.
you because I'm going to look it up and I think we can.
Found it.
You found it?
So it's in several. Oh, it's in every translation because
Oh,
he's got
no.
Arabic, English, Chinese, Italian, Swahili,
But if we
Japanese,
change
Ukrainian.
the English, then so I think what's going on here is if we just change the English, then it'll
Yeah.
go ahead and should update these localized ones. We don't have to go through and change all of them.
Ah,
And I
cool.
only know this because I work with a similar localization project.
Cool.
So,
So I just need to go to this English one.
yeah.
I'm going to
So,
take this file.
learn introductions in an online team meeting, task 24. I'm going to send you this in the private chat where you can get it because you want to search for this. And I've already given folks the issues in the comments.
I still can't search on my fork, but that's okay. We'll find it.
So freecodecamp. Oh gosh, where is that?
English, and you said learn introductions. Learn.
So later on, it shows us where to find this. So github.com/freecodecamp/freecodecamp blob main curriculum challenges English. So I've given you this,
I got it.
you've got it? Ha, you've got it, you've got it. Go up, go up, go up. You got it, you got it. It's right there in the description. So,
Now I'm going to edit this file.
I think you could just push the pencil. I think you could just push the pencil when we're safe.
And now I should find that typo. There it is.
Ah,
Should sound more natural.
makes the I think this wants to be sound. You can use object pronouns to replace nouns in a sentence. This avoids
Oh,
repetition and makes the sentence sound more natural.
that makes much more sense. Cool. That's done. Now I'm going to commit my changes.
And this saves it on your copy of the code. It doesn't save it on the free
Correct.
code camp code. Everything's okay.
It's not going. Yeah. So commit. So
Oh, you could
we
leave
got a
yourself
commit
a
message.
little message.
Yep. Fix typo in
Description?
A2. Yep. Lesson description.
Perfect.
How does that sound?
And if we needed to give more context here, we could. We should probably give more
Yeah.
context just to be good.
Yeah. Let's give some
Um,
more context. So, what do you think?
yeah.
So I will commit directly to the main branch. This sounds
'Cause it's
scary,
your
but
copy.
remember, this is my copy.
Yeah.
Commit changes. So that's done. And there we can see now sound more natural, sounds
Oh,
better.
but
Now, if I wanted to,
we're not going to.
we're not gonna, but I could open a pull request. And it's not gonna actually open it until I actually finish it off. So I could
Yeah.
show how I do it.
Yeah, show us how you do it, but we just won't push the go.
Correct. So we'll go on open pull request.
Because otherwise Naomi will get us and we'll deserve it.
Absolutely. So we can see the change there. So it goes from to sound. We'll go and create pull request. Still not there. Still
Okay.
not
So
going to do a thing. Now, so we should have a checklist. Please follow this checklist and put an X in each of the boxes like this. It will ensure that our team takes your pull request seriously.
I've
So
read
I
the
have read and
contribution guidelines.
yep, I've contributed before. I have read and followed the how to open a pull request guide. I like this. My pull targets the main branch of Free Code Camp. Yes, it does.
Yep.
I've tested these changes either locally on my machine or
I
Gitbot.
mean, we saw that like it's a typo change. Like obviously test them, yes, but we'll just say
We'll
we
test
have
them. Okay.
in our hearts.
In our hearts, we have. And if your pull request closes a GitHub issue, replace the XLO with the issue number. Let's
And that
go
was
get that issue number.
5. I've got it right here.
Oh, amazing.
53591.
53591.
Oh,
Oh, hey,
perfect.
there it
And
is.
it just links it. So if any of you followed around and did these exact same things and then pushed create pull request, there's a decent
Yep.
chance you'd be able to add open source contributor free code camp code base. I mean, it's not the Cecil points out like, oh, that's so many issues.
That's a lot of issues.
I work on a really complicated open source project myself. I'm not always super good at it. And one thing I'm doing is trying to make it easier for folks to contribute. And I really like the way Free Code Camp does it. It makes it really friendly.
Absolutely. And it makes it thorough as well. So I could click on create pull request. I'm not gonna, so I'm not gonna even tempt fate by hovering over it. So there it is. So that's how I would go about making this pull request.
Amazing. Shall we? Unless there's any more questions. So we've just been previewing some stuff y'all don't need. We've talked a little bit about how we don't expect you to be finished and everything's okay. You look very excited.
I have one question, if I may.
Yeah.
Once I'm done with my portfolio, how do I get my certificate?
Oh, so
Shall I share my
yeah.
screen?
You gonna race me?
Maybe. Because I need
'Cause
to
we get
reshare
asked
real
that a
quick.
lot, and that's really something we should cover.
So here we are. Now, remember, in order to get the certification, you need to have all of the certification projects done. Once you've got those done, scroll all the way down here to the bottom of the curriculum. I interrupted you, Jess.
No, 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 I was just really excited. I know we haven't finished all the projects on this account, so it won't actually do it.
So we go to settings to claim our certification. So we'll click here. Then, once we make sure
Nikita,
that
this is a
all of these
really
are
good
done,
question. We'll show you in just a second.
so survey form done, tribute page done, technical documentation, product landing page, build a personal portfolio. You should see links to your solutions. If you click here on claim certification, it'd be like, oh, hold on. To claim a certification, you must first agree to our academic honesty policy. Let's go look for that. Oh, here it is. So before you can claim a verified certification, you must accept our academic honesty pledge. So, I haven't been copying. I understand that plagiarism is bad. Um, Aside from open source libraries such as jQuery and Bootstrap, 100% of the code of my project was written by me or along with another person going through free code chem curriculum with whom I was pair
Ah,
programming in real time.
so you can't steal our I mean, I wouldn't steal our ideas.
Can't plagiarize that. So once that's done, you can agree to the policy. You agree. Now you can go back down, claim certification again. And even though I haven't, oh gosh, I haven't finished any of them.
Look,
Um,
me neither. Like, I'm always like, "Hey, let's teach." And then I always say like, "Oh, I'm definitely gonna go back and finish these. I'll definitely, like, get my certification this time, this time." And then I just lie down because I'm tired.
I think I might have finished the old JavaScript one on this account. Let me see.
No, but you
Did I
always you
just?
always erase it after you're done.
Oh, I do, don't I?
Yeah.
Ah, too bad.
And this is a valuable lesson in not going down to the bottom and pushing reset my progress like we do every year. It's very depressing.
Yeah, but yeah, once you have that, you can share it online and be super proud of it.
So we've got a couple really quick little questions. If anybody else has questions, it's super chill. I've got a question from Nikita saying, "Can you show us how to make our page public and add our free code camp link to our account, please?" Can you talk to me about what you mean by page public? But what I'm going to show you how to
Mm.
do is to make your portfolio page public.
Oh yeah. You mean
No
the?
certifications. No certifications.
I have one. I've got one on another account.
I'm just picking on you. But I can come into settings,
Mm-hmm.
and then here I can set the profile about Jess likes to teach. She is very tired. And now when I come to my profile, it'll say Jess likes to teach. She's very tired. So here's the places where we can, oh, you can link to your portfolio website externally. But we come to menu, settings, personal. Huh. I'm gonna just eyeball this
What do
for a
you
second. I'm just
what are you looking for?
triple checking to make sure I'm not showing y'all like where I live or how old I am or
Oh, here,
No, you're
let me
good.
take a look at my
So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom in your settings, you can choose you can
ah,
choose with a lot of granularity. I'm gonna show somebody my profile. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can show somebody my name, my location, my points, my heat map. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So this is what you were looking at. Um, mm, I think the forum is a separate thing, but you can choose how much of your of your profile is shown here. Oh, my donations. Oh, we could be like, I'm a donator. I'm a donor. That's so touching. And Eric's got it. Eric's like, look, in Free Code Camp, you click on settings and then come all the way down to the bottom. Super chill. I hope that answers your question. Oh, and here's saying, okay, yeah. But developers, what kind of websites do developers often use that aren't their portfolio? And this is such a good question. So GitHub, I think LinkedIn, especially as a job hunter, Dev2. Do we get to
Oh, yeah.
let me log into Dev2. So Dev2 is let me remember my Dev2 password. By which
I
I
can
mean
go on mine.
I'll race you. Yeah. Oh wow, did I have this with a Twitter login back in the day?
Oh, I have not written a blog post in a while.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, learners asking, is Dev2 a personal blogging site? And it is. Oh yeah. So Dev2 is like a blogger site for developers? Eric
Yeah.
says, "Hey, when you get your certification, you can link it to your LinkedIn." I love that.
Shall I show y'all how to do that?
Yeah.
Because I've got my legacy JavaScript certification. I found it. So share my screen.
What does legacy mean?
Oh, legacy means not outdated per se, but from the older curriculum, from the older version of the curriculum.
I'd say it's a polite way to say old. So a legacy
So
code base is a super heckin' old code base.
exactly. So here you can see from one time I did the JavaScript, the older JavaScript certification. Um, you'll see I've got my solutions ready to show, and then here it's usually got claim certification, but here I already claimed it, so it's got show certification. And if I click on that, it's going to show that they certified that I completed this in 2022. I can add this to my certification to my LinkedIn profile, or if I want to, share this certification on Twitter. And if I want to do that, if I want to look that up real quick, you can go to your profile and you can see here. Oh my good, that was weird. View JavaScript algorithms and data structures certification.
I know this is not the point, but can you make the text a little bigger?
I'm so sorry, of course.
Oh, no, well, it's for a really specific reason. Happy
There
learning
you go.
marshmallow is the most you thing that you could write there. That's very, very true, very honest.
I imagination's not my thing.
Friendly happy learning marshmallow, perfect happy learning marshmallow. But do you know
um,
what? It's we've coming
yeah.
up on an hour and we promised we were like gonna let people go
Oh,
early. Your
oh gosh, of course.
homework is to rest.
Absolutely.
So you can finish this portfolio site tomorrow. You can finish it next week. You can finish it in 3 weeks. If you're joining us for JavaScript, you can finish it after the JavaScript bootcamp, and it's not going to hurt you a single bit. We're going to do an optional question and answer session for the JavaScript bootcamp on Friday. None of us are going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to the movies. Y'all should go to the movies. You should just go and do something. Oh, I love this. Legacy is the free code camp word for vintage. Oh, coming
Oh, that's
full
wonderful.
circle back to this wine cellar. Love it.
Love it.
So your homework is genuinely just to rest.
Amazing. Yeah.
We will
Well, can I just
not see you tomorrow at the same time. Bwahahaha.
love it. And thank you so much for joining us, friends. This has been amazing.
And again, I'm so sorry to be so repetitive. We do not expect a single one of you to be done with all of this web development stuff we've covered. This is so much. I know we've gone through at a speed that kind of expects you to be doing this full time, and that's not the way the real world works. With JavaScript, we're taking a little bit more time. We're going through a little bit more slowly. But the thing I want to really preview early and often is it's going to be really conceptually challenging. I'm going to aim to be here every single day for it. And the thing I would say is, I'm joyously not a very good JavaScript programmer, so we can learn together. And as long as I'm not crying, nobody has to be crying. I will cry.
It's been wonderful. It's gonna be easy, it's gonna be fun, we're gonna learn a
Not
lot.
gonna be easy. But it won't be easy, but it'll be laid back.
I like that, that's much better.
Thank you all so much for learning with us. We are so consistently delighted that you share your time with us.
And we'll see you next time.
Not tomorrow,
Not tomorrow.
though. See you Friday, my loves.